Sure, the number flee, give these heroes are no outside miss.
Alsat, it max in our earth line, yes, girl. Member of board and then involved in the Ziknate, Sam, now the radio sharp foot be line.
In recent months, public perception of the Tesla Cybertruck has taken a sharp turn, not solely due to the vehicle's design or performance, but because of what it has come to represent. Rather than being just a bold innovation in automotive design, the Cybertruck is increasingly viewed as a symbol of political and ideological division. As Tesla CEO Elon Musk's public presence has grown, especially through his involvement in government initiatives and his vocal positions on social and political issues, his persona has become deeply intertwined with Tesla's image. This has led to a wave of unexpected backlash. Some Cybertruck owners report being targeted not for how the vehicle functions, but for what it supposedly stands for. Accounts have emerged of vandalism, including spray-painted messages and offensive symbols on parked trucks. Others describe confrontations on the road, ranging from aggressive gestures to verbal harassment. In more extreme cases, notes have been left on vehicles containing politically charged messages directed at Musk himself. These incidents highlight how a product, especially one so visually distinctive and media-hyped, can become a flashpoint for cultural tension. The problem is magnified by the Cybertruck's unconventional look, which already divides opinion. Now, it's no longer just about aesthetics or electric performance, it's also about association. Online forums show that some Cybertruck owners are even choosing to stay anonymous when discussing their vehicles, using burner accounts to avoid unwanted attention. What began as a bold experiment in vehicle design has, in some places, evolved into a polarizing statement, one that extends far beyond Tesla's original vision of innovation. This growing cultural divide poses a unique challenge for the brand as it navigates both consumer sentiment and a shifting social landscape. As the Tesla Cybertruck makes its way into the real world, it's facing serious pushback from regulatory bodies across the globe, not just in terms of bureaucratic red tape, but due to deep safety and legal concerns. What was originally conceived as a futuristic and unorthodox vehicle is now running into the realities of differing standards for road safety, size restrictions, and design conformity that vary significantly from country to country. In markets like the United Kingdom, the Cybertruck has already been seized by law enforcement because it lacks a certificate of conformity, a crucial document that confirms a vehicle meets national safety standards. Without it, a vehicle can't be legally driven on public roads. Design features that make the Cybertruck stand out, like its sharp, angular edges and rigid steel body, actually conflict with pedestrian safety regulations. UK authorities have flagged the truck's exterior as potentially hazardous in collisions, particularly due to its lack of rounded edges that help absorb impact. Size is another major barrier. In some regions, including parts of Europe and Australia, the Cybertruck exceeds the weight and width limits for standard driver's licenses. That means most everyday drivers would legally need a commercial license just to operate it. In rural countries with narrow roads, such as Ireland, even maneuvering the truck becomes a logistical challenge. Australia adds another layer of complexity. Since the country drives on the left side of the road, most imported vehicles require a right-hand drive setup. As of now, the Cybertruck is only available in left-hand drive, making it unsuitable for mass adoption without a major redesign. There are also concerns about how the vehicle would respond in collisions with wildlife, like kangaroos, a common hazard in Australian driving. Unlike traditional vehicles, the Cybertruck's ultra-rigid frame could actually intensify the danger by turning impacts into projectiles. In China, although the truck wasn't formally banned, Tesla withdrew its application to sell it due to the country's strict safety and vehicle classification standards. These rules, combined with already tight restrictions on pickup trucks in major cities, made launching the vehicle in the Chinese market nearly impossible. Taken together, these challenges highlight a deeper truth. Tesla may have designed the Cybertruck with a global mindset, but the world's roads and laws aren't ready for it. And adapting the vehicle to meet international standards could require major structural changes, potentially costing billions and compromising the very identity that made it unique in the first place. From the moment Tesla unveiled the Cybertruck, its design became a lightning rod for debate. Unlike any other pickup truck on the market, the Cybertruck features a stark, angular form that looks more like a stealth fighter than a utility vehicle. Its stainless steel exterior, sharp lines, and geometric silhouette instantly positioned it as something futuristic, almost alien in the world of automobiles. For fans of innovation and Tesla enthusiasts, this bold design was a statement of intent, a refusal to conform to decades-old expectations of what a truck should be. However, for the wider public and much of the traditional automotive industry, the Cybertruck's design raised eyebrows. Many saw it not as revolutionary, but impractical and even polarizing. It didn't seem like a vehicle made for everyday use or conventional driving environments. The sense of unfamiliarity extended beyond aesthetics. It lacked traditional door handles, had unusual side mirrors, and its bulky size and sharp corners made people question how practical or safe it would be in real-world scenarios. Instead of evoking trust and reliability, two core aspects of vehicle design, Cybertruck often came across as experimental or even theatrical. This led to a deeper question. Was Tesla truly innovating, or was it simply trying to shock the market? In the auto industry, success is not just about technological advancement, but also about emotional connection. A car must resonate with people, not just in terms of performance, but also in how it makes them feel. And many consumers seemed unsure whether they could relate to something so radically different from everything they've known. On top of that, the logistics of mass-producing such a unique design created additional hurdles. Building a vehicle with an exoskeleton made of ultra-hard steel isn't just unusual. It requires entirely new manufacturing methods. This meant slower production rates, higher costs, and repeated delays. Many early reservation holders began to wonder whether the vehicle would live up to the hype, or if it was more of a concept car turned into a marketing symbol. In the end, Cybertruck's radical design is both its greatest asset and biggest obstacle. While it undeniably pushes boundaries, it also challenges long-standing norms that most buyers still value. Tesla's success with this model may ultimately hinge on whether people can learn to embrace not just something new, but something completely different. Tesla's ambition to make the Cybertruck a global icon is facing significant headwinds, not just from public opinion, but from legal and regulatory systems around the world. While the U.S. may tolerate and even celebrate bold designs, other countries have stricter standards, and the Cybertruck is quickly running into limitations abroad. In the United Kingdom, for example, the Cybertruck has failed to meet even the most basic safety certification. Without a certificate of conformity, it can't legally be driven on public roads. One major issue is its sharp, rigid exterior, especially the edges, which UK law requires to be rounded to protect pedestrians. But the truck's sharp, blade-like corners are the opposite, raising concerns about the safety of anyone who might come into contact with the vehicle in a collision. Beyond safety, size itself is a problem. The Cybertruck is over 2.2 meters wide and weighs close to 7,000 pounds. In the UK, operating such a vehicle legally would require a commercial driver's license, something most everyday drivers don't have. That means the average consumer wouldn't even be able to drive one, even if it were street legal. Similar challenges exist in Ireland and much of Europe. Narrow roads and tight urban layouts make the large, angular Cybertruck difficult to maneuver. Furthermore, many European countries restrict non-commercial driving licenses to vehicles weighing under 3.5 tons. A fully loaded Cybertruck often exceeds this threshold, making it essentially illegal for casual use. In Australia, the problem is compounded by the truck's left-hand drive configuration. Since the country drives on the left, Right-hand drive vehicles are required for safe operation. Tesla hasn't provided a local version, making it unusable under current conditions. Wildlife collisions are another issue. The truck's ultra-hard shell could turn animals like kangaroos into dangerous projectiles on impact, endangering other drivers. In China, Tesla faced different barriers. Regulatory complexity, safety concerns, and restrictions on non-standard vehicle designs in urban areas have created an environment where the Cybertruck couldn't even launch. Rather than fight through the red tape, Tesla quietly withdrew its application. The core takeaway: what works in one market doesn't always translate globally. The Cybertruck may be engineered for American roads, but in much of the world it's considered too dangerous, too big, or simply incompatible with existing legal and cultural frameworks. While the Tesla Cybertruck has stirred up controversy and debate over its size, safety, and utility, there's another angle that reveals why it exists in the first place, and why its commercial success may not even be the ultimate goal. Rather than being a mass-market pickup designed for practical use, the Cybertruck seems to serve a deeper, more strategic function. It's a marketing machine. From the very beginning, the Cybertruck was unlike anything on the road. Its futuristic, angular, almost alien design didn't just make headlines, it dominated them. When it was first unveiled in 2019, the truck became an instant internet sensation. Memes, videos, reactions, and articles flooded social media platforms and news outlets. Whether people loved it or hated it, they were talking about it. And that kind of attention is marketing gold. For Tesla, which spends almost nothing on traditional advertising, the Cybertruck has been an invaluable PR asset. Elon Musk understands the power of spectacle, and the Cybertruck gave him just that. Every delay, every production update, and every leaked video becomes a news event. The vehicle doesn't even have to sell in large numbers to justify its existence. Its brand impact is worth millions in exposure. Moreover, the Cybertruck reinforces Tesla's identity as a company that challenges convention. By going all-in on such a radical design, Tesla sets itself apart from legacy automakers. It becomes more than just a car company. It becomes a cultural symbol of rebellion, innovation, and bold thinking. For Tesla's fan base, this solidifies their emotional connection to the brand. The exclusivity of the Cybertruck also adds to its mystique. Because it's not widely available or road legal in many parts of the world, it creates a sense of rarity and prestige. Seeing one in the wild becomes a novelty, further enhancing its viral appeal. It's not just a product, it's a conversation starter, a flex, a statement. And that's the real genius of the Cybertruck. It's designed as much for impact as for utility. Whether or not it succeeds as a truck is secondary. Its true success lies in how effectively it grabs attention, shapes perception, and drives the Tesla brand forward. While the Tesla Cybertruck may be street legal in parts of the United States, its journey into international markets has proven to be a far more difficult road. Despite Tesla's intention to make the Cybertruck a global icon of innovation, the vehicle is encountering numerous obstacles, many of them regulatory, that are keeping it off the roads in several major regions. One of the most immediate and impactful issues lies in vehicle certification. Countries such as the United Kingdom and Ireland require all vehicles to meet specific safety and design standards before they can be legally registered and driven. The Cybertruck, with its sharp-edged design and unique dimensions, does not comply with these requirements. In the UK, for instance, the law mandates that exterior edges of vehicles must be rounded to protect pedestrians in the event of a collision. The Cybertruck's blade-like form fails to meet that standard, leading some officials to label it a potential hazard rather than a technological leap. In terms of physical footprint, the Cybertruck is simply too large for some regions. Narrow roads, small parking spaces, and tight urban infrastructure in places like Ireland and parts of Europe make it impractical to drive such a massive vehicle. Its weight, which often exceeds 3.5 tons when fully loaded, also disqualifies it from standard driver's licenses in many countries, requiring a commercial license instead, something that most consumers don't have or want to obtain. Australia presents a separate set of challenges. Since the country drives on the left side of the road, it generally requires right-hand drive configurations. The Cybertruck, at least in its current form, only comes in left-hand drive. That, coupled with local concerns about wildlife collisions, especially with animals like kangaroos, adds another layer of complexity. The Cybertruck's ultra-rigid exoskeleton, designed for toughness, could potentially cause more damage in such accidents, turning what's meant to be a safety feature into a risk factor. In China, Tesla hasn't faced outright bans, but instead a maze of bureaucratic barriers. Between strict pedestrian safety laws and a general hesitancy toward large, unconventional vehicles, Tesla eventually pulled its application to launch the Cybertruck there, avoiding formal rejection but effectively acknowledging defeat. Altogether, these international hurdles signal a bigger truth. What may seem bold and groundbreaking in one market might be viewed as risky or unacceptable in another. Tesla envisioned the Cybertruck as a global disruptor, but for now, it's largely a US-based curiosity. Whether that changes will depend on Tesla's willingness and ability to adapt the design to meet regional expectations and laws, and that in itself would require significant compromise and cost. One of the biggest points of concern surrounding the Cybertruck isn't just its radical design or limited availability. It's Tesla's long history of overly ambitious production timelines. While the company has achieved remarkable things under Elon Musk's leadership, it's also become well known for setting optimistic deadlines that frequently slip. This pattern began long before the Cybertruck. Take the Model 3 as an example. Originally announced with the promise of mass production starting in 2017, the Model 3 quickly ran into what Musk later described as production hell. Supply chain issues, automation hiccups, and scaling challenges delayed deliveries and frustrated thousands of customers. Although the car eventually became a massive success, the path was far from smooth or on time. Then there was the Tesla Semi, first unveiled in 2017 with promises of delivery by 2019. As of early 2025, only a handful have reached commercial use, and the project is still in limited rollout. The same story applies to the second-generation Roadster, initially revealed in 2017 with a bold promise to be the fastest production car ever. But production has yet to begin in earnest, with delays blamed on battery constraints and shifting priorities. This historical pattern casts a shadow over the Cybertruck's future. The vehicle was first introduced in 2019, with promises of production starting as early as late 2021. That deadline slipped to 2022, then 2023, and finally, limited deliveries began in late 2023, but only in very small numbers. Even now, in 2025, full-scale production is still ramping up slowly, and many customers with pre-orders are still waiting. It's not that Tesla is incapable of delivering. In fact, the company has an incredible ability to innovate and disrupt industries. But when it comes to production forecasting, there's a clear trend. Timelines are often more aspirational than realistic. This tendency has led to a growing sense of skepticism among both investors and potential buyers. When Tesla announces a new product or feature, the first question isn't how good will it be, but rather, when will it actually arrive? For the Cybertruck, these delays matter. Many customers placed reservations years ago based on expectations of timely delivery. With long waits and little transparency, some are beginning to question whether the hype was worth it. Meanwhile, other automakers are catching up, releasing electric trucks and SUVs that, while less radical in design, are actually available to buy and drive today. In the end, while Tesla's vision is often ahead of its time, its ability to execute on that vision, particularly within promised timelines, remains one of its biggest challenges. The Cybertruck is no exception.